Welcome! In today's video I wanted to touch a subject when we should change our oil in our Mazda RX8s and talk a little about fuel dilution of our oil. I didn't knew that weather can be such a bitch in here, so anything can happen during filming this video, but I'm waiting over a week. So let's give an answer to the question how frequent we should change our oil in Mazda RX8 and talk a little about fuel dilution. On my right I have my black Mazda RX8 that I changed oil 400 kilometers ago, but it had a light trip. And on my left I have my silver Mazda RX8 that I've also recently changed my oil, but it went through some furious driving. Yeah, this was also before changed. It was going on same kind of driving. And let's just take a tissue, take dipstick from both of them, and let's compare the oil. So we can clearly see a difference. This lighter one is from 400 kilometers one, and this brown is from other one that drove, I think, 1020. This is not a big difference. And also let me just take some samples of fresh oil and put it in. We'll have it here. Here is freshly new one oil. Here is from Mazda behind me. And oil from Mazda, it smells kinda gasoline, so we know it's diluted, but if we will smell from our second Mazda, we will feel it's much more diluted. But now I frequently say dilution. What it is? Basically bypassing your side seals and oil control rings, the fuel from your mixture inside of the engine is passing through these seals and is going into your oil system. And this is normal in RX8s. It also happens in piston engines, but in much lower rate than in our RX8s. Also, oil in our cars is more exposed to heat, as it is cooling our rotors that are cooled only by oil. Basically, maybe it is similar to our piston engines, but it makes a difference. Because we have much more surface area than in pistons, it's lubing our bearings and it is going into our chambers. So this is, I actually just told reasons. In some hideaway I just told the reasons why we should change our oil more frequently. First thing, the oil in stock RX8 without zone adapters, that would be material for another video. The RX8 without zone adapters just basically is taking oil from oil pan that we just saw. Not always it is very clean, and basically inject it into the engine, and we just change oil more frequently to keep up this changing in there. Also, another thing is, as I said, fuel dilution. When fuel is diluted, when oil is diluted with fuel, it have lower viscosity and also can't prevent the bearings from wear as well as clean oil can. So I've talked about reasons, maybe. So I think I talked about reasons, and these are three. To summarize, there are three reasons. We inject oil to the engine and inject it. As we should summarize it, we have three reasons why we should change our oil more. So to summarize it, we have three reasons why we have to change oil more frequently than piston engines should. We have injecting oil that is going into the engine. So to summarize why we have to change our oil more frequently, we have our oil injection system that is injecting oil to our combustion chambers, and we actually don't wanna have that debris going into our engine. Also, we have fuel dilution that lowers viscosity, lowers ability of oil to actually separate parts from contact and lube them basically. So how frequent should we change our oil? We should actually fill it ourselves. If we go from lights to lights to the red line on every gear and do basically put our engine into more stress, we should change our oil more frequently. It is up to even if we drive on a track. The most frequent interval to actually change the oil, it is, I think, in these two. Lately, before changing this oil over here, we had actually 3 hours of track driving and maybe same distance as we can do on a technical track, with city driving and calm driving, because there was a person learning on these cars. And I think it's up to 8,000 kilometers. It will be 5,000 miles maximum for this type of cars to change the oil, because oil will be diluted even in stock RX8s and even in good build ones. This is the answer. And while we're changing our oil, if we drive on a track on daily basis, we should keep in mind that we don't change all of our oil. I've just made a clip to show you guys how much it is left in oil pan after redraining it. Let's just check how much oil is left in our oil pan. So, as we can clearly see, here we have 850. And also we have our oil lines that it's left in here. It's not all oil lines we have in our cars, but it's probably amount how much is left. It's not big amount compared to oil pan, but it's also still there. If we start doing things like this, we should basically take our dipsticks from time to time. We should check our level of our oil and just fill it, smell it, and after a while we will be able to just know where to change an oil just by this basis. We will know what viscosity of our oil is, and basically by this matter we will be able to define how frequent our change should be, or if we should change now or not. Mind you, this oil is quite fresh and starts to smell a fuel, so I am willing to say that not always, actually never, only smelling fuel in your oil should be I think that you must to change an oil, because you will be changing oil every 500 kilometers just because, and just big waste, and it will not be an efficient way to do it, because just as I said in another video, we change our oil and take good oil for our bearings not to go bad, because engine can be replaced and cost of the engine will not be as high as changing the oil every 500 kilometers or miles, depending on where you live. So yeah, that should be summary, and I hope you get some information from it, and as always, have a nice day. Kokodak!